pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another PDP political meeting. I take this opportunity to invite you to stand for the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Brothers and sisters, remain standing as I invite Pastor Terence Brains to pray for us.
Let's pray. Oh God and Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day. We thank you for another event. We thank you for all those that are gathered here this evening. We thank you for the message. We thank you, Lord, for this campaign season. I pray your blessing on the presenters this evening. I pray your blessing on all of us. We pray that the message will resonate with the viewers and listeners. We ask that you would give us good success in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Everybody say amen.
Thank you, Pastor Baines. Once again, welcome Tobago, welcome Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another PDP political meeting. I'm your host, Mr. Sherwin Jordan, and this responsibility is one that I take very seriously. This is election 2021, December the 6th. And it is critical for the people of Tobago. It's a very, very important election. So, before I go further, firstly I want to recognize our political leader, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke. Let me recognize the deputy political leader, Mr. Farley Chavez Augustine, and the one who will lead the team in this election, the one that is leading to become the chairman of the Tobago House of Assembly. Let me indicate that this is a THA election. It is not a PSA election. And brothers and sisters, let me recognize the woman power of this party. I want to recognize Dr. Faith B. Israel. And I also want to recognize the deputy political leader, Mrs. Alicia Roberts Patterson. What a powerful party indeed that we have. We also have another doctor, the chairman of this political party, Dr. Sean Ned. His deputy is here, Mr. Anjay Kawan. And let me take the opportunity to recognize all the 15 candidates in this coming election. What a powerful, powerful team indeed it is. And let me say, this election is about reporting. Reporting to the people what you have done in governance for the past 4 years or even the past 20 years of governance. And my brothers and sisters, it is important that we know exactly what is happening with our finances. Because as we look around Tobago, it is not reflecting good governance in Tobago. So as we've seen so much challenges in Tobago, from economic downturn to unemployment to underemployment, and so much trouble across the board. And therefore, as we look at our team, we have to fix Tobago. Are you with me? And so, brothers and sisters, let me indicate to Tobago that the team that we have is one that encompasses not only members of this great, powerful party, but it encompasses all the brains of Tobagonians. A brilliant team, a team of committed people, and a team of service. I do not want to go further, because indeed that we have speakers here that will enlighten you, speakers that will guide you as you make the right choice come December the 6th, 2021. Brothers and sisters, we have a great woman of the soil. And her name is Miss Natisha Charles Pantin. Give her a clap tonight. And let me let you know that she was very much instrumental in supporting Mr. Whitey, Ian Pollard in that era, Mason Hall, Moria. But because of a commitment of Tobago and a commitment to service of the people of Tobago, the PDP political party embraced her. And I'm saying to her, she's one of us. She's one of this powerful team. She is well educated, a university student, and she's ready to go. She's a woman who puts service before people. She is here tonight. Brothers and sisters, I ask you, as she comes to speak to us, give her a warm PDP welcome as she comes to give her presentation. Put your hands together as we welcome tonight Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin.
PDP victory, the road now round the journey rough. We foot strong and our whistling tough. So many that have been shown at us. Real Spartans never give up. The winds of change blowing your way. Bust off those chains.
Good evening, Tobago. Good evening to the listening audience, both near and far. Good evening to my electoral district of Bagatelle Bacalet. I, Natisha Charles Pantin, have now entered into this Armageddon war. I have my hard hat and I'm wearing my Gideon boots, because it is time we give Farley Chavez Augustine and his highly competent team of candidates a chance to fix what is happening here in Tobago. I was born and bred in Kokowati Trace, Mason Hall, and I still live Mason Hall. So just like my brother Nigel Tate, I from Yard. I am a woman from Yard. I was trained in the areas of agroforestry, ecological sciences, forestry, and public health. And I worked for over 16 years with the Tobago House of Assembly. 16 years and more of humble service to the people of Tobago. In 2019, I joined the battle for Tobago's autonomy through community consultations headed by Dr. Vanus James. That decision was an easy one, because I strongly believe that every Tobagonian should have a say in our destiny, and that vital decision that shape our future should be made in Tobago and not in Trinidad. Later on in 2019, I was voted in as the chairperson of the Providence Masonol Mariah Action Group. In 2020, I became the campaign manager for Ian Whitey Pollard. Needless to say, in the January 2021 THA elections, Mr. Pollard was successful, and he continues to serve us diligently. Tobago, our island is but 116 square miles, and it must be a place where we could all coexist, regardless of political affiliation. As a matter of fact, not too long ago, I was on the other side. However, I decided that I wanted to be in an environment where I strongly believed that I could and would have a voice in helping to make a difference to the lives and livelihoods of Tobagonians. So I crossed over to become part of the PDP. I am extremely pleased to be chosen as the PDP's prospective candidate in the district of Bagatelle-Bacalet. And I vow above all to bring some much-needed changes within this constituency, as outlined by you, the residents. First and foremost, we must realize that together we can achieve a great deal. So we must start by making a concerted effort to harmoniously exist, enhance our lives and livelihoods, and build our communities together into the types of communities of which we will be very proud. Tobago, the world over, is going through some serious times as we treat with this pandemic. Given the seriousness of the times, I am totally on board with the PDP's community recovery and development programs. These programs will ensure that private investments take place in Tobago, thereby creating jobs. Introduce measures to reduce the burden of taxes. Implement grants and loan facilities and measures so as to boost production in Tobago. Implement bonuses and training opportunities for all categories of workers, thereby affording them the opportunity to branch out into private businesses, which could attract both national and international attention, all aimed at boosting the economy. Support the Land and Housing Trust Initiative so that every Tobagonian could build homes, and those of you who already own homes could have access to training, which could afford you the opportunity to branch out into bread and breakfast establishments. That is if you choose to go that route. If you choose to farm or fish to feed yourself and the public, you deserve to be assisted to ensure your success. And therein lays the PDP's Community Recovery and Development Program. The PDP's programs will revive and upgrade carnival industries and cultural activities. We will initiate beautification projects, including enhancements and development of nature trails and waterfalls, which could aid in tourism. By way of the PDP's Community Recovery and Development Programs, we will introduce digitization within various divisions in the Tobago House of Assembly, such as the Division of Health and Tourism. PDP! With digitization of services, many Tobagonians will be involved in the design of systems. Jobs immediately will be created in areas such as data entry, data validation, data management, and reporting. It means we will be training a whole new cadre of Tobagonians in these disciplines. PDP! And we will be creating a powerful network of experts capable of developing and deploying these digital systems. A pool of talent and companies will be created, and their expertise could be exported to the rest of the Caribbean and beyond. Citizens can look forward to more streamlined and efficient processes as they deal with the matters of the Tobago House of Assembly. For us in the PDP, accountability and transparency remains our top priority. PDP! We are guaranteeing first-class accounting systems to finally bring about accountability and transparency in all matters involving the Tobago House of Assembly. There are so many areas that need fixing that I can't mention all today. However, we, the PDP, will ensure that the benefits under these community recovery and development programs will be distributed equitably and professionally, and not on the basis of political affiliation. My constituency of Bagatelle Bacolet, the people of Tobago, I, Natisha Charles Pantin, will give of my best effort to help institute community-based participatory budgeting to support priority projects, of which you, the community, wants to focus so that we can get our development underway. Such procedure is now practiced all around the world to great economic benefits, and it has the advantage of giving more power to the people and realizing greater democracy. In this vein, we have to ensure that our village councils, sports organizations, action groups, and other organizations within the community are up and running efficiently. In our communities, no longer should people be begging the authorities to get their lands regularized. No longer should children be without readily available safe area where they could play. Children should not be left with no other choice but having to play in the streets where they are exposed to vehicular traffic. Within our communities, various cultural activities must be in place so that our children as well as grown-ups could be active participants, all geared towards the enhancement of our existence. Having grown up in Tobago, specifically in Kokowati Trace Mason Hall, I fully understand what it is like walking in mud to get to and fro from places whenever it rains. This situation is certainly not unique to my area and constituency. I am sure this is the experience in many other communities across Tobago. I live in an area with constant landslides, poorly lit streets, poor drainage, and poor infrastructural work, such as brace walls and bridges. And it would be remiss of me if at this point I don't say a hearty thank you to Mr. Ian Whitey Pollard, the area representative, who has been very instrumental in bringing some relief in my community in these regards. Mr. Pollard, a hearty thank you. In our electoral district, we have also experienced a rise in criminal activity. Sadly, a situation that has become so prevalent in Tobago. Very recently, it hit home when my little cousin was shot and killed right in front of his own home. There are also parents who cannot afford to send their children to school. Tobago, we are all hurting. Bagatelle Bacolet, are you really satisfied with the service you have been getting for the past 21 years? No. By no means am I removed from my community and my constituency, so I fully understand all the struggles within. Tobago, we have a lot of fixing to do. Yes. Let us bond together and collectively build out our communities and our island into that place which will all be enjoyed by each and every one of us, as well as by our generations to come. I thank you. Thank you, Tobago. Let us get to work. Let we fix this, or better yet, let we fix this.
PDP victory, the road now run the journey rough. We foot strong and our whiskey tough. So many dance at the
Yes.
Spartans never give up. Yeah.
Let me hear it from Miss Natisha Charles Panton.
Blowing your way, bust off those chains. It's a brand new day.
Intelligent, bright, and ready to go. How you feeling, Spartans? We're going to fix it? we will fix this. And one of the things that she mentioned, accountability and transparency. And the question tonight, those in power, are they accounting to the people of Tobago? I want to hear from you. And the answer is no. The people of Tobago is crying out. They want to know about the money. And for hell, this political party would not indicate to the people of Tobago how they're spending the money. But all we hearing is overrun contracts, overrun projects, and overruns, and things happen in the dark. And they left out the 6 for the past 11 months. And they're saying that they love Tobago. Brothers and sisters, things cannot continue like that. And we in Tobago, we must be serious about this election. Brothers and sisters, we are going to Bukumong Pleasant. And we have a man who has an excellent character. A man not only spent his life in the 4 walls of the church, but he transcends himself throughout his community. And we know to a fact that the people of that electoral district is complaining about poor representation. Representation is a serious issue in Bukumong Pleasant. The people are tired. And we have a man who can fix things. He can bring hope, bring trust. You can trust him. Because we know to a fact that he has good moral. He's a man of God. And I know to a fact that he is honest. But more than that, he's also a businessman. He understands money. He also was a lifeguard. But today, he's here to save lives. Saving the lives of the people of Bukumong Pleasant. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to join with me as I welcome the candidate for Bukumong Pleasant, Mr. Sonny Craig.
Send for the carpenter, send for the plumber, send for the electrician. Tobago, come let we fix this. PDP have a plan to develop this island. All hands on deck. Bully fair with the X is the only solution. Put them out, put them out.
A pleasant good evening to everyone. And let me follow my colleague, Mrs. Panton, in recognizing the leader of this great organization, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke, and Deputy Political Leader, Mr. Farley Chavez Augustine, Ms. Faith B. Israel, and also our fund leasee, Mrs. Alicia Patterson. Let's put our hands together for that leadership team. Mrs. Panton shared some concerns with me before she came to the microphone. And now I have to share my concerns with you. It's hard to follow such an eloquent presentation. Put your hands together for Mrs. Panting again. How are you feeling? Let me fix this. Let me begin by sharing a little bit about myself. I was born in Buku. And I attended preschool at a preschool in Bonaccord called Baka. I went to Buku Point Government School, after which I went on to Scarborough Secondary, Signal Hill Senior Secondary, and then to Harmon to finish my O-level qualifications. I also did studies in safety management and also in customer care. I am also a qualified lifesaver by virtue of an award of merit. I love Tobago, and I've spent most of my life here. After I left high school, I went on to work in the chambers of Mrs. Deborah Moore Miggins. Then I relocated to the States, and this is 1989 when everybody wanted to leave. And after I finished my legal time there, I chose to return home to serve Tobago. I joined the lifeguard service for 2 years, then I went on to TSTT for 13 years. And at the age of 39, I thought at 40 I should not be clocking cards for anyone, so I left after they offered me a very handsome package. And I started my own business, and I've been self-employed ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, my love for Tobago is deep. And I believe the leadership of a country is a spiritual matter. And it is disappointing at times to hear persons of the clergy discredit political affiliation and political leadership. Yet, we embrace people who cannot account for the country's assets and gladly put them there time and time again. One of the experiences I'm getting on the campaign trail is that persons do not want to participate anymore. I said it in Buku, and I'm saying it again. I met a young lady, 24 years old, yesterday, and she doesn't want to participate anymore. And I said, how long have you grown to understand the politics? She said, what do you mean? I said, since you were 3 years old. The party that is in power now has been in power since you were 3 years old. Have you ever experienced another party to make an intelligent comparison? And once again, the conversation ended abruptly. Because I'm trying to reason with her that unless you try something different, you will continue to get the same results. And so, another challenge I'm seeing on the campaign trail in my constituency of Buku Mount Pleasant, and although it's scripted as Buku Mount Pleasant, I could safely say Buku Mount Pleasant Canaan, because 80% of Canaan is part of my constituency now. I am seeing young people who have a simple request. I want a government work. And although in my conscience I say it's good to have a government work, but I'm trying to impress them that there's a better option. You could get a government work, yes, but there is better. And so, with my team at Buku and with some of the constituents sharing their views, I'm going to share with you. What we think could constitute a better arrangement. Let me at this time halt to welcome the audience on the World Wide Web. We are happy for the technology, and we are ecstatic to have you tune in to us when you have billions of options to look at even at this time. I have been blessed to serve as the chairman of the Bethel Montervin party group, and during that time I learned a lot. And I was blessed to lead in the time when Pastor Baines ascended to the position of assemblyman of that constituency. He quoted a sentence on every walkabout. He said, God will help us. And as a man of the cloth, it's not strange to hear him attribute success to the divine creator. But in Buku Mount Pleasant now, I am not the chairman, but I'm blessed to be led by a team. And that team is managed by Miss Natasha Seconds, and I want to recognize her in a special way this evening. In my constituency, there are challenges that could be paralleled throughout the island of Tobago. Young people without a vision. Let me paraphrase that. They have a vision, but they do not know how to accomplish their dreams in life. We have tertiary trained people, from bachelor's, masters, and even PhDs who are told upon application for service that they are overqualified to serve in the Tobago space. With the Tobago House of Assembly presently employing 70% of the labor force, it is no rocket science why this is so. When I share with my constituents that the concern and the responsibility of the THA over the 4 years, the basic responsibility is paving of roads, building of infrastructure, bridges and drains, building of hospitals and schools and police stations. That is 20% of their job. People are wowed by that. So I try to explain to them, when they come down your street 2 months before the elections to pave your road, that is a job that you gave them to do 4 years ago that they are rushing to do so that you could re-employ them. Reminded me of a time when you went to the beach instead of sweeping the yard. And when you got home and you realized how things are and the potential to come, you start to speed up. Yeah? Let me go quickly now and share with you some of the ideas that jointly we have come up with for our constituency. Mount Pleasant, Canaan, and Boko, with their similarities, there's gross underemployment due in part to gross underdevelopment and skills and lack of training. Young men and women must be able to embrace a transformed Tobago and contribute to the overall development of the island. No longer should it be a top-down approach to development, but it should be inclusive, where everyone could share their views on how to develop their community. The literacy and numeracy skills of the youth must be enhanced, and even those who are considered to be the lowest in the society, once they have dreams and aspirations, they should be listened to. Somebody should lend them an ear and allow them a chance to realize their fullest potential. We intend to re-establish the trade schools in Tobago. We had in mind, we intend to establish trade schools again in Tobago in the PDP, where we could have our young men and women equipped for the great development plans we have for Tobago. Jobs will be created within the district that will beautify the environment and improve the housing and recreation facilities available. We intend to encourage the growth of innovative and creative industries. This is an integral part of a transformed Tobago space, and the voices of the young people are encouraged to be heard in the conversation. Hence, we have decided to appoint liaison officers to work and gain the trust of our youth so that they could speak freely. And this is one party that you do not have to be afraid to share your views on the issues. If you do not support Mr. Duke, and people are telling me on the road, they love Mr. Duke, they love Farley, they don't like me, or they love Faith, and I encourage the conversation and say, why you don't like me? You know what I mean? I encourage the conversation. Young people must be able to speak up, and as older persons, we could listen and address their concerns. The tertiary level graduate of Tobago is frustrated by limited jobs and opportunities available within the Tobago House of Assembly. For the last 2 decades, our graduates have been suppressed into accepting that the THA is the only direct source of employment. But the resources within the THA can be utilized in a strategic and fair manner to facilitate the growth of industries that will capture the attention of the graduate class. We have ideas for industry that do not necessarily mean smoke has to be pumped into the atmosphere. In Boko Point, we have a boat building industry. We intend to seek to expand that industry to a point where we could have a quality product to serve Tobago, Trinidad, and the wider region. Fishing is an integral part of my constituency. And in partnership with the fisher folk, we intend to go into larger fishing industries. What do I mean? There's the option of smoked fish. We could do fillet fish. We could do all types of fish arrangements, and when it comes down to the bones, they could be dried and crushed and recycled for farm use, because I learned in school that dried fish bones, once crushed into a powder, is a great source of calcium. So there we have a spin-off from doing the fish business. Farming. My constituency hosts 2 major goat race festivals every year. We think that we could be the mecca of an advanced goat farming industry. Why not? Why can't we import breeds and create a better goat? For meat, for racing, am I on course? And the skins could be used for craft and drums for festivals. So we see room to expand on the whole goat idea. Public-private business enterprises, we have the global pandemic to think about, and it has taught us all the value of digital intelligence and the wealth of online business opportunities. Collaboration between state and private sector enterprises will be a priority, beginning with internship opportunities, the design and delivery of training programs, and opportunities to grow new businesses. What about housing and infrastructure? In all fields, I met patrons who were living literally in, let me get the right language here. They are flooded out continually. Their land space is continually damp, which presents an engineering challenge. On my observation as a layman, I see where the problem could be solved. They told us that persons from the division came and looked at their issues and went away and never came back. A PDP Tobago is going to get there, and we would not leave them like this. We're going to find a solution before we move on to the next problem. Yeah? We have a lot of projects in mind. I am telling the young men in my constituency, if you enter a project as a laborer, be committed to leave as a skilled person. Are you with me? Sometimes we need to light the fire. Sometimes young people need to understand that they are worth a lot more than the community might label them as. And I always say that every single brain has the potential, once it's working well, to come up with ideas and to generate and to grow. And so, in the conversation, we need to continually give our young people hope and let them know they could come up with the ideas, and we'll work with them to bring them to fruition. One of our great challenges in my constituency is Grange Bay. When I was a child, I was told that Grange Bay, all kind of jumbie and dwen and thing. Nobody embedded in Grange Bay. But look what's happening to Grange Bay now. Many of our friends from Trinidad have made Grange Bay their beach of choice. I am supporting that concept of having a beach house at Grange Bay, a lifeguard station, and also repairing the wall that is fading slowly. That retainer wall, eventually, if we do not deal with it, it will disappear, and our road will be compromised, and that's a main thoroughfare. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been given a time limit, and my time is up. But there is so much to fix in Tobago that this PDP leadership, these 15 persons presenting themselves, would have no holiday time. I'm telling you, on the 8th, when we take the oath, on the 9th, we're starting to build boat. Are we together? So I'm saying, let us say together as always, let me fix this. We have a lot to fix. Let us put our shoulders to the wheel. Let us work as one Tobago family, and we will restore Tobago to its former glory, or even better. Thank you very much, everyone.
Let me fix this. Tobago, let me fix this. Tobago, let me fix this.
Mr. Sonny Craig.
Send for the plumber.
Yes.
Send for the electrician.
And let me say those ideas, it was not created like that. By working the field and having conversations with the people, you recognize Buku, Mount Pleasant really need fixing. Put your hands together one more time for Mr. Sonny Craig. My brothers and sisters, at this time, a lot of stone is pelting. But there's a saying, my mother always give me that proverb. If you live in glass houses, don't pelt stone. And I want to remind all of us, and remind the people of Tobago, at this election, this is about reporting to the THA and dealing with the issues. This have nothing to do with PSA. I want to get it absolutely clear. Sometimes you have to help them to destroy them. My brothers and sisters, we have in our midst the political leader. And at this time, we really need to shower him with love and embrace him and give him some energy. Because even Moses, there are times, sometimes you get tired because of the battle that you had to fight. Well, let him know tonight that he is not alone. That the soldiers is with him in the struggle as he lead this political party. Put your hands together as we welcome tonight the fighter, as we welcome tonight the founder, as we welcome tonight Mr. Watson Solomon Duke.
Right now we are say Watson D for the east, Tasha B for the west.
Straight out in a star.
Yo, this I no joke. Vote.
Spartans! Spartans, Spartans! It's indeed a pleasure to stand here every night, to be surrounded by good people, as Brother Craig, who spoke a while ago, Pastor Baines, to have a good chairman as Dr. Ned, deputy chairman as Cowan, and to have deputy political leader as Lisi Patterson, and we have Dr. Faith B. Israel, and my good brother, I call him, my good brother, I want Trace to hear that, my good brother, Farley Chavez Augustine. And I want to let Tracy know tonight that Farley Augustine could discipline Watson Duke anytime. 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 Farley Augustine could discipline Watson Duke. Because we are brothers. And brother must be able to talk to brothers. Even if they disagree, leave them alone. So stay out of our business. Stay out of our business. Mind all your business over there. Folks, I grew up in church. And there was a song we used to sing in church. I know Farley is a better church man than me as a church man. And I know Craig is a better church man than me. But one of the best church man we have in the house is Pastor Baines. One of the things about the PDP party is that we ain't afraid of God. We love God. We ain't afraid of God. All right? We love God. We may not be holy, but we love God. There's a song that says, we are nearing home. Remember that song at all? Could somebody help me sing that song there at all? Come, sister. Come, sister. Come, sister Tinil. Where's she there? Oh, Tintin. Come now, man, Tintin. My color fancy name, Tinil. Folks, one thing about the PDP, we original. We don't follow pomp and ceremony. And I will not delay my speech, even not taking this time up. When we come, we just have fun. And it is fun to serve you, because putting a smile on your face must be something exciting. I don't know how some people behave as if it's painful to serve you. You ever see them walking around the place? You ever see them walking around the place? The glass screw up, their face sour, like they eat sour grapefruit. You know what I mean? Like the pink grapefruit. They behave a kind of way. But we would be happy to serve you, because service is always nice. When you serve on your own, it's always nice. So we have a song, maybe Tinil, not so good, this song again. I think people know the song, you know. You know, yeah. Just the chorus. And if you don't know, I'll take it over from me. Go ahead. Big singer. Sing it so people know it.
No, we're singing the chorus, right? We are near. You hear me? Ring home. We are nearing home. See the splendor gleaming from the dooms afar. See the glory streaming through the gates ajar. There we soon will enter, nevermore to roam. Hear the angels singing, we are nearing home, we are nearing home.
One more time.
We are nearing home. We are nearing home. See the splendor gleaming from the dooms afar. See the glory streaming through the gates ajar. There we soon will enter, nevermore to roam. Hear the angels singing, we are nearing
Oh, ring home. Folks, powerful song, eh? But I find next time I go back to church, carry me with you. Eh? But I think I'll learn that song a little more. Folks, they could say whatever they want. They could choke me with whatever they want to choke me with. I have nothing to say to them. Nothing. Nothing to say to them. I'm not going to tell them the eye black or the eye white. That's Tobago talk, eh? That's Tobago talk. We have nothing to say to them. They could lock me up like Christ, I have nothing to say. They could beat me like Christ, I have nothing to say. Let them talk. The world will judge them. You, the electorate, you will judge them. I tell you, I am just happy today to know that from Crown Point to Charlottesville, the same tune is being sung by everyone. We are nearing home. Even when I would have gone to Louis Door today, and I learned something in Louis Door I never know. They moved the sign. Louis Door was a separate village by itself, formerly called land settlement, and Louis Door has its own history. But when I got there, I learned something quite sad. They told me they removed the name Louis Door, and have now called Louis Door Dallaford. So it seems as if somebody in the THA, they are moving the villages, they are changing the villages. They have changed the Crown Point, the Keenan, but I call it change it what? They move the sign way up. You know, how do they know that? Did they have a conversation with the village council, with the elders that are doing their own thing? But I told the people of Louis Door, do not worry yourself now. The Egyptians you see today, you will not see them tomorrow. I said to them, God will have victory over Pharaoh, his chariots and his horsemen, because God is able to defeat this enemy. And so when they run into Farley, they run into Watson, and run into all of us, the figure is just us. God stands up for his people. I want you to know something, that iron had to pass through fire, you know. To shape it, had to come through fire, you know. To shape Watson Duke into the man he is today, folks, I passed through some fire, you know. And I'm a wiser man now. I'm a more intelligent man now. Right? Even though sometimes I want to tell them how to, I want to tell them that. Even though I want to tell them what to hold, drag, and pelt, and what to shut up. I wouldn't tell them that. My wiser man now. This time, we're playing for keeps. This time, we want to ensure that freedom comes, and it comes in your lifetime. We have been grappling with Tobago autonomy for far too long to go on showboating this now. As I want to tell Tracy today, end the conversation, Farley can discipline me. End the conversation, I will be the one moving the motion to make Farley Augustine Chief Secretary. End the motion. So don't worry yourself over that. And PSA looks after its own business. You write the PSA. and ask the PSA to answer for what's in you. Don't ask Farley that. Oh gosh, he's not in PSA. Don't ask nobody in PDP that. Tell me about THA money. We want to hear about the money that was sent to Virgin Atlantic and disappear. How they quote on that one? And about the $500 million that have no proper documentation. We want to hear how contracts are being given out and there is no receipt of the contract, there is no copy of the contracts. We want to hear about those things, but they do not talk about those things. And so tonight, one of the things we have to fix is governance. Tonight, governance is very important to Tobago. And we must oftentimes understand the value of reading the Bible. I know you may not be Christian, and I'm not saying it's the only book. But to me, the Bible is a book of life. One time, Christ was talking with his disciples, and they were all grown men, big men, all of them. But while he wanted to teach them a lesson, he's a great teacher. He called a child and put a child on his lap. And he said to them, unless, obviously he got the attention, because if big men like me, and you take a child and put it on your lap, that will draw some attention. What is that? Just so? Big man talking here, you bring a child here? He wanted to teach him a lesson. I want to teach us that lesson tonight, or remind us of our lesson tonight. He said, unless you become a child, you shall in no wise enter heaven. All right? Unless we all become like children, we shall not enter into that new Tobago. See, too many of us are men and women who become proud. I mean, I like Watson. Me not like this one. Me not like that one. Children not like that, you know. Anytime I tell a child something, they go say, why? Why, daddy? Why, mommy? Not so? They're very questioning. And if a child tell her no, they know why, you know. It's adults doesn't know why they say no. Trust me. Children always know why they say no. I don't know if I'm the only parent here, but if you're a parent or I'm speaking the truth, just say yes. Am I speaking the truth? I have children, and they could always give you 1,000 reasons. Sometimes you have to shut your ears. Because they'll give a reason upon reason upon reason why they believe what they believe. The time has come for us to defend our belief. If we believe the PDP is the right party for this time to fix Tobago, you must know why you believe that. We don't want people just to say, well, yeah, I like Farley, I like Duke. No. The PDP is about returning Tobago to the position it was created to be, where we residents on this island must make decisions to govern this island. In the Tobago House of Assembly, though it's not perfect, the document speaks to perfection. It lists 34 areas for which the Tobago House of Assembly has responsibility. All right? It also says the Tobago House of Assembly has responsibility for 6 miles of COD. Am I correct on 6 miles? So if we are responsible for 6 miles, how come Trinidad telling us when to go and sap with knee? Or when to sap with bad shoulder? That can't be good governance. You need to know those things. The Tobago House of Assembly Act puts you mommy, you daddy, you brother, you sister, put you in charge of 6 miles of sea. And somebody from Trinidad, and it's not enough for us by any means, but the beach, is the beach beyond 6 miles? Somebody tell me that. Is the beach beyond 6 miles? So since when our Prime Minister in Trinidad is opening up play parks, swimming pool good, but your beach, your river, you can't go and bathe? Since I small to know my big man. Me look short but my big man, right? Look short. I've never seen any crowds in the beach, except in some festival. All right? But even great race, I keep great race. but they keep denying us the right to bathe in our beaches. That is a crime. It is wrong. I'm telling you no. With Farley as Chief Secretary, we are claiming our 6 miles back. Prepare for it. We must make decisions. Who told Rowley? Who told the PNM people and them that you don't want to bathe in no beach because you will catch COVID? Who tell them that? You see, I fighting for rights for my people, and I've been doing it for a very long time. And because I've fought my people in Trinidad, I said I'd come in and fight for Tobago. I ain't come to be no king. I ain't come to be no prince. I ain't come to walk around the police and look stush. I come to fight. So if I find a rough and a tumble, yes, a rough and a tumble. Me ain't hiding that. A rough and a tumble. Because somebody needs to stand up for Tobago and say to Trinidad, hey, we in control of our 6 miles. You can't control that too. If administratively we responsible for that, then we must say the beaches are open. Go and step a knee, mommy. Step a bad knee. Uncle, step a bad shoulder. Those who want to do baptism in the beach, go and do your baptism in the beach. Those who want to swim and exercise, go and exercise. But practice social distancing. Right? Practice social distancing. And when you're on the beach, put on your mask. If you're not playing sport or if you're in a crowd, put on your mask. Tobago must decide these things. Is there any problem wrong with that, Tobago? Am I asking you to decide on something too big? Yes or no? Tobago, am I asking you to decide on something too big? Let me tell you this. I would gladly walk away from this job of leadership and politics if you do not want that. Tobago, do you want that? Yes or no? Tobago, let me ask you again. And I'm afraid. Because I personally have no interest in politics. And I'm not talking about beach personally now, because some of you may not want to be in the beach. But I'm saying Tobago must have the right to decide on Tobago issues. This is the matter I'm speaking about, governance. It makes no sense for us to have a Tobago House of Assembly and 34 areas for which you're responsible: education, health, sports, and a number of things, right? You're responsible for. And then you, at the end of the day, are not responsible for it. So tell me, Tobago, do you want responsibility for those areas? Yes or no? Yes. Tobago, I want you to say it one more time with pride. Do you want responsibility for your areas? Yes or no? Yes. I thought I hear yes. Guys, seriously, no. I will leave politics if Tobago don't want to have a say in their own business, because I am comfortable by myself. But if you want a say, it is wrong for me to have a voice, have some influence in our society, and not use it to give you a voice and give you a say. So we're saying good governance, you have to fix it. So we're fixing the beaches after December the 6th, because it falls within Tobago. Tourism falls under THA. We're fixing tourism after the 6th. We must have a conversation with those within the tourist sector, whether it is bread and breakfast or hotel or car, whatever it is. It's a large sector, large sector. We must have a conversation with those stakeholders. And we must allow those persons to map a way forward for us. Because that's what governance is about. Then we must bring in the experts, those who have done it nationally, regionally, and internationally, and look at what is being said and create a nice concoction, a mixture, a hybrid solution, and fix tourism. We must do the same with our education system. We must talk to the teachers, the parents. Folks, we must go back to a time when Tobago has participatory democracy. For far too long, those who are leading are directing you as to what they want. They are controlling you against your own will. We promise, under Farley, Chavez, Augustine, not to do that. And this is why the communities will become very important to us. This is why parent-teachers meeting will be very important to us. Fisher folk meeting will be important to us. Even meetings for the housewives in distress will be important to us. Because everyone would have a voice. I'm not going to be long tonight. My talk to you tonight is that we are nearing home one. We are nearing home one, and we are doing nothing. Nothing to lose that. All right? Nothing. My second point is we have to fix governance. Because governance means we're in charge of some 34 areas, tourism, education, a whole number of stuff. And we must begin to make policies. And those policies must be shaped by you, the people. If a policy is formed and you are not included, there's no policy. It's supposed to be shaped for you and with you. So my brothers, as I end tonight, I wanted to let nobody disturb your peace. And again for Tracy, Farley can discipline me. He can discipline me. Understand? This independent party, we could disagree and still agree. All right? So I want to tell you thanks, people. Pleasant night. And we're keeping it short and sweet. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Duke, political leader. We have come to the end of this meeting. And let me take the opportunity to thank all the speakers, all our supporters, members, those who are here for the first time. As I look in the audience, we have teachers, we have business people, we have religious leaders. People come from so many places in Tobago to be a part of this meeting. Those who are looking on the social media, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night, PDP.